All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ringside, the Heritage Wrestling Alliance. Here he is, Cowboy Ace Fresno, a newcomer here to the Heritage Wrestling Alliance, and manager Brittany Daniels wasted no time in picking this guy up. His first match, though, will be a guy who debuted just late last summer, Slate Cruz, and who's gone on an unbelievable streak with only one loss and a whole lot of victories. Cowboy Ace Fresno. Boy, Brittany Daniels knows how to pick him, doesn't she? And this is Heritage Wrestling Alliance Prime, the #1 wrestling show on Monday nights. And we can do it in an hour, ladies and gentlemen, what the so-called competition can't do in 3. And wait a minute! Angel Wilkins is coming out with Slate Cruz. Angel Wilkins and Brittany Daniels, they've hated each other. They came into professional wrestling at the exact same day. But I did not know that Angel Wilkins had Slate Cruz in her sights. Apparently she does. Angel Wilkins, of course, the daughter of the great Shawn Wilkins, one of the greatest independent wrestling stars of all time. And Slate Cruz is getting ready to take on Cowboy Ace Fresno, and we could see an extra battle between Brittany Daniels and Angel Wilkins. If the past is any indication of what might happen here tonight on the Heritage Wrestling Alliance Prime, this is going to be a tremendous matchup. Don't know a whole lot about Ace Fresno, but I know that Slate Cruz has tremendous wrestling ability, tremendous power, and he can even go to the high-flying maneuvers when he needs to. All right, folks, I want to address something right now. JBL, the George W. Bush wannabe of professional wrestling, but unlike the ex-alcoholic George W. Bush, whereas JBL is still in the current state of, he recently went on a rampage at the grandest stage of them all, Flopomania, where he just continually berated Steve Borden, well, you know him as Sting, and just went after him about how he tried to put the WWE, or at that time, the WWF, out of business when he worked for WCW. How he tried to take food out of the family's mouths of JBL. I would think more that the money that JBL was spending on Scotch and Jim Beam would be taking it out of his family, but I digress. Let me ask you something, George W. Bush wannabe. When you get on your self-righteous kick about how Steve Borden and WCW tried to take food from your family's mouth and tried to put you guys out of business, well, let me answer your question with a question. World Class Championship Wrestling, American Wrestling Alliance, Portland Wrestling, CWA, or the Alabama region, and all these other great territories that are coming back. Who put them out of business? That's right, your self-righteous bunch did. So when you jump on that hypocrisy bandwagon, you better make sure that you are totally innocent before you get on someone else. The difference between WCW and the WWF or the WWE, WCW was out front, and they said, hey, we're trying to put you out of business. They didn't make phone calls to World Class Championship or the state of Texas. There's a law in the state of Texas way back when that an amputee could not compete at a championship wrestling match, and the WWF called the Athletic Commission in Texas and said Kerry Von Erich, who has an amputated foot, is competing in a championship match, and tried to get their super card in Texas Stadium canceled. And of course, the card was the main event of world champion Ric Flair against Kerry Von Erich. So again, WCW, they were up front killers. They were up front assassins. Where the WWF, they were behind the scenes assassins. Or, as I like to call them, chicken hawks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to what really counts. The Heritage Wrestling Alliance. Slate Cruz has Ace Fresno outside of the ring. Ooh, he's going to take him to the steel railing. This could end in a double countout. We don't have a lot of these in Heritage Wrestling Alliance. In other words, folks, we don't build up matches on Monday night, don't give you a finish, but we promise a finish on a pay-per-view for the low cost of $39.95. No. We'll have our super cards and our finishes on free television, thank you. And when we do have a pay-per-view, it is truly called a supercard, not the November pay-per-view, or the December pay-per-view, or the pay-per-view you just soon rather forget. We're back to wrestling supercards. Big difference. Ace Fresno going after Slate Cruz now, going after the rib cage area. And Slate Cruz has had an aggravated rib injury for the last several weeks. And I'm sure manager Brittany Daniels has told Ace Fresno, you do whatever you have to do to get a win over this guy. Angel Wilkins jumping on that ring apron and jumping right back off. Slate Cruz going for the victory now. This could be a big win. Oh, a big win for either man. I mean, anytime you can knock off an up-and-comer that's coming in like Ace Fresno, and on the flip side, if Ace Fresno, being a rookie, can come in and knock off a guy who's still relatively new but has gotten a lot of wins under his belt. Ace Fresno now going for it looks like a pile drive. No. Yes, a front. No. Looks like a face-first pile driver right there, but with some authority, with an exclamation point. And Angel Wilkins is really risking her man getting disqualified. Brittany Daniels would love nothing more than for A, her man to get a victory, and B, to be able to go back to President of Heritage Wrestling Alliance, Nancy Davis Jackson, and say, hey, this witch got in the ring, suspend her. Talk about a win-win situation for Brittany Daniels. Slate Cruz going for a full Nelson. I did not know this was in his repertoire. And it apparently is a big weapon of his because he just got a victory with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Slate Cruz with the victory. And folks, we're going to go back to the event center with Murray Hodson, who is new to the broadcast team. Murray Hodson, of course, formerly with a New York company who he had to sue back in 1991 because of sexual harassment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as everyone knows, when you settle out of court, you're claiming guilt. And Murray Hodson got a nice fee, but apparently not nice enough. He's working for us. Take it away, Murray!